Pile politics, getting the client to vote for you. Many of us played the game as children where we would close our eyes, walk down the sidewalk or hallway, and see how far we could travel without bumping into something. Even though we knew the environment, trying to remember it in total darkness forced us to think about it differently. Voiceover auditioning can feel like walking blindfolded. You know how to put one foot in front of the other, but you don't know exactly where the obstacles are. You may not be familiar with the environment. You know there's some way to pass through the maze to book the voiceover job, but you wish you were more prepared. If you and a friend had to walk blindfolded through their house, they'd have the advantage because they're more familiar with the environment. By the same token, voiceover talents who have more knowledge of what they are up against in the audition process have an advantage. Another way to frame this challenge is to think of voiceover auditions as what they literally are, a pile. In the past, they were a pile of cassette tapes or compact discs. The client who cast a voiceover job would play a pile of physical media. Today, voiceover auditions are a pile of digital files. Booking the audition can be analogized with making it to the top of this pile. When I coach voiceover students, I make a game out of navigating this pile. I call the dynamics of the total group of voiceover students who audition for a job pile politics. I use the term politics because sometimes a voiceover talent who books the job makes strategic choices based on accurately assessing this pile and the client. This means that instead of walking blindfolded, they have intelligence and intuition about the space they need to navigate. Here is a list of 4 obstacles you may encounter when auditioning for voiceover jobs. Talents who do the same thing very well. Sometimes a job spec asks for a read, like Everyday Guy Gal, or a celebrity reference like Morgan Freeman, where a majority of professional voiceover talents who audition can deliver at a very high standard. This is an obstacle because in a pile of genius, brilliance can be fatiguing. The voiceover talent who beats this obstacle expects that excellence in one area will be common among talents who audition. Even if they may also be excellent in that area, they may decide to incorporate other types of excellence. Talents who are better than you at what the job asks for. Sometimes a voiceover job simply isn't in your wheelhouse to audition for competitively. If your voice is naturally deep, you might not audition to play the role of a toddler. But most agents who represent voice talents will say unequivocally, sometimes jobs book on spec, but just as often they book off spec. This is a fancy way to say that the talent who wins the audition pile might do exactly what the job asks for, but just as often, the talent does an amazing but slightly different read and the client ends up liking it. The voiceover talent who beats this obstacle knows when they should submit an excellent read, even if the job spec favors others. Super early bird talents. As a general rule in voiceover auditioning, early always beats due. Sometimes, even if there is a deadline, a client will listen to auditions as they come in. Even if they wait until the deadline to begin listening to auditions, they may listen to those auditions in the order they were received. Auditions that get heard early are automatically competing against fewer auditions in the client's mind. The voiceover talent who beats this obstacle submits their best performance early. The skimming client. A lot of clients who cast voiceover talents do not listen to entire auditions. They may listen to the first 5 to 7 seconds. In those seconds, they form their entire judgment about a talent's aptitude for the job. They may listen to the first seconds of 400 auditions to decide on 40 talents who make it to round 2. That's right. Just like boxing, the pile of voice auditions often gets whittled down in rounds. The client may only listen to the entire auditions of the second round. The voiceover talent who beats this obstacle understands that the goal of their performance is to get to round 2. By understanding obstacles in the audition process, voiceover talents can make informed choices that aid in booking work.